It's really fascinating to come across your own work in everyday life from time to time. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Switching on the light, making coffee, working on the computer. All these little things that we take for granted, that they work safely and reliably. And when you think at the same time, much bigger things, like an automobile, a power station, or even an entire city use the same principles, then you know straight away why what you do is so incredibly exciting.
The world is changing, and with it, the continents, countries, and cities are changing too. Faster and faster, so that sometimes the old and the new are right next door to each other.
When electrification reached the countryside, the farmers got TV sets, so they were able to learn more about what's going on.
A changing world needs electricity. Where handicrafts and farming are replaced by industry, more and more electricity is needed. Everywhere. Because here, electricity is the key to knowledge, to communication, and the key to the future. Wherever energy plays a key role in private and economic everyday life, the demand for electricity grows daily. Not only the quantity of energy, but also its quality and stability.
Grid quality is very important to cost effectiveness. In China, there is no official up-to-date information on national grid quality. But the government is now taking the necessary steps to remedy this.
Wherever the world is changing, we are there to partner you locally, in your own language, and with the right solution for you, so that the lights never go out, even in the world's busiest cities.
In the city, there's electricity everywhere, lights, traffic. But what is actually behind the city, or down below, beneath the city? The invisible grid?
Needs are changing, and with them, the places and times where and when electricity is required. Just as people are always on the move, electricity must also be mobile. It has to be in the right place at the right time, and providing the right amount. In an unpredictable, complex world, intelligent power management means relying on precise measurements and data in order to know where the grid has the necessary transport capabilities, so as to make energy available precisely where and when it's needed. Wherever needs are changing, we are there, and we make the best possible use of precious resources.
Product design is so much more than just nicely packaged technology. So it's always a major challenge. There is so much we could say, and so much we want to express. The value and quality of the finished product, its dependability and precision, the way it meets practical needs, and of course, adding value to the brand name.
The present is changing, and to secure our future, new solutions are indispensable. While alternative energies can be sourced and transformed, precise data measurements are still indispensable for optimal use of natural resources.
This power plant covers an area of almost 2 square kilometers. Its electrical output is about 50 megawatts.
Nature can hardly ever be controlled. So we follow the sun, and we find it, thanks to high-precision equipment and measuring technology. However the present changes, we are there, on the spot. And for us, understanding how to innovate makes the future possible.
Reduction is a huge theme. Today we have things at our fingertips with more functions than you could describe in an hour. Only by setting clear priorities and procedures can you use such equipment correctly, efficiently and safely. And that's what we call
usability.
Values are changing, and noisy gas guzzlers are out. These days, cars have to be environment-friendly, quiet and economical. We have to flow with the stream, where the electrical current moves us.
In the United States, we have enough electricity in off-peak times to charge 180 million electric cars. And that's what we have today. As we go along, we're adding more wind and solar to the grid, enough for tens of millions of electric cars every 2 or 3 years. So we won't have enough cars to make a dent in that power production for decades. It will constantly clean the grid as we're rolling out these new electric cars.
But although mobility will be quieter and environment friendlier in future, we can still get in each other's way and cause accidents. And the current can be dangerous for those whose job it is to help us and even rescue us. Whenever values change, we are there, making sure that even in emergencies, there is no threat to human life.
Designing is somehow more demanding these days. You work hand in hand with research and development, production, sales, marketing. Not one at a time, but all together. Otherwise, you can forget about producing a benchmark-setting product.
Life is changing, but people are still vulnerable and prone to injury. Today, just like 1,000 years ago, good health is our most valuable asset, and staying healthy is our greatest challenge. But first-class medical services are only possible where patients, doctors, and nursing staff can rely 100% on a dependable power supply. For this is where electricity not only saves life, but also helps create it. Wherever life is changing, we are there to guarantee a dependable power supply that puts no one in danger.
Electricity has many different characteristics. Gentle and calm in a hospital.
Und
Or
plötzlich
suddenly loud and
ziemlich
violent.
laut und heftig.
Energy costs are changing, and they really pay off where a lot of power is only needed for a very short time. In a steelworks, for example, to melt steel in a couple of seconds, an electric arc furnace briefly consumes the same power as a medium-sized city. Whenever energy costs change, we are there, with professional energy management to minimize peak consumption and save on electricity costs.
Everything is globalized, even design. How can we make it clear that a product made in Europe meets requirements on all continents? The different languages of colors, the play of forms and shapes. And take all this into account without losing our own identity.
The forces of nature are changing, and the wildest water is tamed into electricity. From the mountains to the kitchen, from the lake to the office. There's no time to lose. Only with extensive, precise, real-time data can we calculate the exact peak demand and supply the right amount of additional energy just when it's needed. Whenever forces are changing, we are there to make sure we use natural energy in the best possible way.
And then we've got it. After countless hours, ideas that came and ideas that went, and some that stayed, the results of long discussions, endless nights, new meetings, developed, produced, tested, finished. And hopefully,
Hoffentlich
perfect.